the thing that we built our school around was this drawing. And it was a sketch. And over the past 9 years, with our students and parents and teachers, who we call collaborators, we've interpreted this to be what we do every day to day. And it starts with an exploration in which a group explores together through a question or a project the thematic unit that the whole school K-12 is investigating. So those themes have been salt, song, story, and in this, the student becomes the protagonist of their own narrative, explores with a group through a group project, and then declares their own independent project. If that declaration gets approved, they get time to work towards the goals that they set for themselves. And then at the very end, we reflect, celebrate, and share with the community the learning that's happened. I know a lot of people here are here because this has been a wild spring and a very uncertain fall. And so in the next couple of slides, I'd like to show you guys what this arc looks like brought to life when we're in school normally, and then share a little bit about what Brightworks has looked like this spring and what we imagine might happen in the fall. And so I want to start by sharing a little bit about exploration. In exploration, it is a question or a challenge that really provides the framework and pathway for a group to explore an arc. And as sometimes it's the kids who come up with that question or challenge, sometimes it's the collaborators who formulate that question or challenge, but what we're looking for is a question that's so compelling that the kids are just driving forward on their own steam, and we as educators are the coyote at the beginning, at the front of the train, just laying the track of skills and resources that the kids need to get to where they're going.
Outside the square.
This was during Byte Air Arc, and this group of kids sent a weather balloon with a GoPro to the stratosphere.
3, 2, 1.
These screams, which we discovered when we recovered the GoPro, you could hear into 100 feet in the air, that is the release of so much elation at the culmination of so much hard work. These kids engaged their mathematical minds by figuring out how much helium the balloon needed to lift the payload, by looking at the proportion between parachutes and payloads to figure out how big the parachute would need to be. They researched the atmosphere and weather patterns and studied the history of space travel and ballooning. And the thing is, any school can do a weather balloon project. It's there's a lot of resources out there, but I think the thing that made this particularly special is that we invited the students to come to the weather balloon retrieval with us. And that balloon traveled all the way out to the Central Valley. It took hours in the car with these children to get out there. We had told their parents that we'd be getting them home by dinner time, but by the time we actually found the GoPro and got back into the cars, the GPS was saying 11 o'clock was our arrival time. And so, 11 o'clock, I'm dropping the last kid off at their doorstep. It was actually Ramses in the blue, the lightning bolt, and he says, "This has been the best day of my life, and it's also been the worst day of my life." And that right there is exactly what we're going for with all of our exploration projects. We want these kids to engage with projects that are so epic that they discover how much they're really capable of when they work together. We want to give them the skills to take a big goal and break it down into tasks and work as a team to get it done. And if along the way they pick up important math skills, important academic skills, that's awesome. But it's those meta project skills that really prepare them for the next part of the arc, which is the declaration. During the declaration, students take the things that they're passionate about, be that like YouTube makeup channels, or wind turbines, or coding their own video game, writing novels or plays. During the declaration phase, students find expert examples of the work that they want to make in the world, figure out what makes them good, and then create goals based on that, and kind of rubrics to track their progress towards that goal. They do research, they gather experts, and once they're done shaping that idea, they seek approval on it. Once they get approved, they get to work on their project, which brings us to the next phase, the expression phase. During the expression phase, kids work on their project. In this project, Liam and Ronan wanted to climb the steel beams of our old school using electromagnets like something out of a spy movie or Spider-Man. To do this, they took apart a dozen thrifted microwaves to find those electromagnets. They created at least 7 different iterations. They tested their safety rigs, and ostensibly this was a very rich physics project where they learned about electromagnetism and engineering and all of this, but I think it was also the collaboration and perseverance that it required of them that really made it an incredible project. And it's that reflection piece that happens at the end of a project like that is so important to the actual learning process. So it's that exposition moment when kids share the work that they've done. And this is Soleil. During that same arc that those boys built their electromagnetic climbers, Soleil took the Spark arc and translated it down a more social justice path that her and her band had been exploring. And she found the prison literature project. She really learned a lot about the prison industrial complex and wanted to do something to make a difference. And so she started a book drive for the prison literature project and wrote a zine that she stocked in bookstores across the city. And this is a moment where she's sharing that work that she did with our community. During exposition time, students assemble their portfolios, they do their written reflections, they make presentations to the whole school community, and then we celebrate them on Expo Night with a big fair where everybody can see each other's work. And that is the basic rhythm of our year. We do this 3 times a year with different themes each time.